What's good, TMG fam? It's your boy Ellen. I'm back with another reaction. How y'all feel? Welcome back to the channel. Salute. Now listen, he ordered pizza every day for 10 years. He gotta be 500 pounds, bro. 10 years straight. He ordered pizza every day. He pretty much brought them. He pretty much franchised that company, you might as well say, over the years. He pretty much franchised them. I guarantee off of him alone, they probably brought several other pizzerias. Off of him alone, every day for 10 years? That's insane, bro. Insane. But then the pizzeria employees noticed something was wrong. So something happened to this guy, man. And we about to find out. Subscribe.
Hi everyone, let's be honest, even the most optimistic people sometimes find themselves in difficult life situations and think that there's no joy left for them anymore. Well, when you watch the news every day and read the headlines about horrific events, you can get the feeling the world is a bad place indeed.
It may disturb you.
Sometimes it seems that you can lose faith in people and stop seeing the good in them. Sound familiar? Then this video is just what you need. Today, we will tell you some stories that will restore your faith in humanity, or maybe just cheer you up, even if you didn't need it. Let's get it on. Regular customer. We are all very different. Some of us love exploring new things and never get hung up on the same stuff, while others prefer to stick to the things they know and trust. For example, food. Most people have preferences and favorite foods for all occasions, but this guy from Salem, Oregon is truly a man who stays true to himself all the time. For 7 years, Kirk Alexander has been a regular customer of Domino's Pizza's local branch, but not in a sense that he preferred this pizzeria to others and dropped by a couple of times a month. No, the guy ordered food from there almost every day. Not only pizza, but also sandwiches, chicken wings, and salads. Over the years, the employees got so used to him, and in a sense, he became part of the team, and the delivery service knew his address. One day, the pizzeria employees noticed that there'd been no orders from Kirk for a suspiciously long time. Usually, not a couple of days passed without an order from him. And now the loyal customer disappeared for almost 2 weeks. Fearing that something was wrong with him, the employees sent a delivery girl to...
Fearing that something was wrong with him. Or they was like, listen, bro, we've been eyeing this new location for a pizzeria and we need your business. If we don't need nobody else's business, we need your business, fam. Or they was like, yo, the light bill is due. This dude ain't bought pizza. Like, he has gotta pay. Like, how... If something ended up happening to him, I hope they did the autopsy on his body just to see what eating Domino's for 10 years straight could do to your body. I'm curious. I'm intrigued. I want to know. I would like to see a scientific study done on his body, fam, just to know. Wow.
To Kirk's house, not to deliver any pizza, just to check on the loyal customer. However, Kirk did not open the door. He could have just left, you might say. Well, first of all, the light inside was on. And you probably noticed that this guy was not exactly a partygoer. He didn't answer the phone either. So the delivery girl decided to call 911, and she did the right thing. When entering the house, the policeman who arrived at the scene heard cries for help and then saw Kirk lying on the floor. According to the doctors, if it hadn't been for the timely help, he could have died at any moment. Happy retirement. Today...
Oh, y'all not gonna tell us what happened to him? I hate when y'all do that. I hate when y'all do that. Tell us what happened.
Rosario Del Real is over 70, and his health has been deteriorating for a long time. But throughout his life, he always worked so hard that his conscience simply didn't allow him to sit at home doing nothing. He used to work in the house renovation industry, but a few months ago he got a serious injury. He had to quit his job and look for a new one. So now, Don Rosario, as the locals call him, goes to the streets of his neighborhood in Chicago every day and sells ice cream on a stick to the neighbors, dressed in a traditional Mexican costume. And to make himself and those around him happy, the grandfather sings his favorite songs in Spanish. There are no holidays or non-working days for Don Rosario. He drives his ice cream truck even on days when everyone is resting. The thing is, on weekends, the chance to get many clients on the street is much higher. In June of this year, he was working during Father's Day, a nationwide holiday celebrated throughout the country. Suddenly, on his way, he met a local family who felt sorry for the grandfather. They made an unexpected decision to buy out the entire supply of ice cream so that Don Rosario could rest at least on such an important day.
See? And good people in this country still do exist. They exist. Shout outs to them for that, man.
The video where Oscar Gonzalez and Victor Dominguez buy all the ice cream from Don Rosario was posted on TikTok and very quickly gained many likes and views. Then the men came up with another idea. They decided to start a fundraiser so that Rosario could retire and enjoy a carefree life. Turned out that the men were stepbrothers who'd long lost their fathers, and Don Rosario reminded them of him. The story impressed internet users so much that in a single day, they managed to raise more than $62,000. Gift from Dad.
Wow. You always hear about those stories, man. That's the type of stuff that you need to hear that we don't hear enough. We get to hear the negative so much, man, that we don't get to hear the positive as often. Stories like that, man, keep you going and have faith that humanity still exists.
Every child has a toy that he takes with him everywhere and is terribly afraid of losing. For little Kenley Britton, this was an unusual plush doll with a picture of her dad in military uniform. Inside the toy, there was a recording device with his dad's voice. Dad left this gift for his daughter when he was leaving on a long business trip, and now she can fall asleep only after hearing the audio message. This February, Kenley and her mother were flying from Connecticut to Georgia on a Delta flight. After they got home, the girl discovered that the precious toy had been lost somewhere along the way. The chances of finding it were slim, but Ariel Britton decided to try her luck anyway and published a post about the lost toy on Facebook. A lot of people reposted it, and a day later, news appeared on the official page of Delta Airlines, a photo of a lost toy on the seat of an airplane. Turned out that it was discovered by 2 employees at the airline who personally delivered the toy to Kenley. Later, it became known that if the search for the toy failed, Delta had a plan B, to make a copy of the toy and ask Kenley's dad to make a new recording. New life.
That's dope. That's dope.
Even in countries with the most open and fair judicial systems, there are cases when innocent people end up in prison. Some of them admit their guilt simply because they get tired of defending themselves, don't see any other way out, or simply can't afford a good lawyer. Jonathan Fleming from the US is one of those people who was wrongfully accused. He got in prison not just for a couple of weeks or months, but for 25 years. He was charged with a murder.
25. Not just 25 years, 25 long, hard, imprisoned years. Let's let that set in. There's no way you can ever be repaid.
He never committed. That all changed in 2014 though, when the police suddenly discovered important new evidence. It was an extract from a hotel bill, which all this time was somewhere in the case file. It confirmed that on the day of the murder, Jonathan was outside New York with his children. He took his family to Disney World in Florida. The man was then released, but he didn't know what to do with his life. He had nowhere to go, no job, no money. He only had less than $100 with him. Thankfully, Alex Sutaru, a major Wall Street banker, heard the story. He decided to start an internet fundraising campaign and help Jonathan start his life over from scratch. As a result, in just a few days, he received money from 600 people from 14 countries. The total amount of money raised was over $30,000. Circle of kindness.
I feel as though the stage. No. You seriously? The system isn't gonna. He should receive some type of funds. Man, they ultimately stripped him of his life for 20-something years. Like, he should come home automatically to millions. And that's at the very least. I feel like he should come home to millions. He should come home to a home, and he shouldn't have to pay taxes. Like, the state got a lot of hard labor out of him for 20-something years. Why should he have to come home and worry about his next meal or where he would stay or do? he shouldn't.
One day, an American woman, Tunda Hector, got into an unpleasant situation on the road. Her car ran out of gas. She only had $5 in her pocket, and it was raining outside. By a lucky chance, though, Chris Wright was driving by with his family. He noticed the girl walking along the side of the road, drove his wife to their destination, and came back. The guy picked Tunda up, helped her fill the tank, and gave her all the cash he had with him. He admits that he simply couldn't have done otherwise, and it seems like fate itself was on his side. After all, the story didn't end there. A few years later, Chris's mother Judy got Parkinson's, and her condition rapidly deteriorated. The doctor's predictions were not good, and the family decided to hire medical staff to care for the woman. One of the nurses grew particularly close to Judy. She told her about her dreams of medical school and was the most attentive to the needs of the patients. So, at some point, the woman decided to introduce the nurse to the rest of the family. Once, while they were chatting, Tunda shared a funny story from the past, how a stranger literally saved her in the middle of nowhere. Imagine Chris's surprise when he heard this. Unfortunately, Judy died a few weeks later, but the nurse continued to visit the widower to keep him company. The girl's attitude touched the rest of the family so much that they decided to give Tunda money for college. Everything turned out great, and now the girl is studying in the college of her dreams.
It's so good to be. Oh my God.
Concerned passerby. Be honest, if you saw a person in trouble on the street, would you help them? Many people would say yes, but there are not actually that many people who would care enough to stop and help. Some are just in a hurry. Others don't even really know how to give first aid. Ronaldo Preza got lucky. A caring and skillful person was next to him in his time of need. One day, the man was driving his son Robin to work. Everything seemed fine. However, at one of the traffic lights, Ronaldo suddenly stopped and only had time to say, "Oh no." After that, he immediately lost consciousness. His face quickly turned purple, and his son realized that things were really bad. He immediately started calling 911, but each second mattered, and Robin didn't know how to do a heart massage. One of the workers who were cutting trees near the road heard the boy's screams. A man called Takai immediately rushed to help. The worker quickly opened the door and tried to perform CPR in the car, unsuccessfully. Then he pulled the man to the ground with the help of his colleagues and began to administer first aid. Later, it turned out that he used to work as a lifeguard, and that's why he was so quick to react in a stressful situation. If it wasn't for him, Ronaldo probably wouldn't have survived. Wrong number. Have you ever sent a text message by mistake? It usually simply ends in embarrassment, but this story is an exception. One day, Abby Fink sent a message to her friend Alex. Well, at least that's what she thought. In the message, Abby said that she was going to bring the guy something for dinner and was asking what time was convenient for him. The thing is, Alex's son, Noah, was in a critical condition at the time due to severe bouts of epilepsy, and the girl wanted to somehow support her neighbor. A few moments later, Abby heard a text alert coming from her phone, and she immediately grew suspicious. The tone of the text was relaxed and ironic. It really didn't seem like a message a person in distress would send. The girl decided to check whether she'd entered the number correctly. It turned out that one of the digits was wrong, and she'd been talking to a complete stranger. Abby explained the situation and apologized. The other person suddenly asked how he could help. At first, the girl just asked the guy who introduced himself as Bill to pray. However, he was persistent. He was determined to financially help Noah, and after some discussion, created a special page on Facebook. There, he asked people to send postcards to the boy, donate blood, and help his parents with medical expenses, and a lot of caring people reached out to help. Unfinished business.
Like, in those incidents, you gotta be like, man, like, that's, do you believe in coincidences or not? That was supposed to happen. That was meant to happen. It was gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And you just gotta be thankful, man. These stories, man, maybe I needed this video more than y'all did.
When artist Shannon Downey from Chicago moved into her new house, she found an unusual surprise from the former tenant waiting for her there. A large quilted canvas embroidered with many birds and flowers, symbols of various American states. However, several elements in the work were still missing. Shannon decided to do a little research and found out that the canvas had been created by Rita Smith, who had passed away some time before that. Then the girl decided that she definitely wanted to finish the work, because it clearly had great significance for the previous owner of the house. Downey shared the story on Instagram, and several dozen people from 30 American states and 2 Canadian provinces volunteered to help her. The girls sent pieces of fabric for embroidery to all those people. The result exceeded all expectations. The canvas turned out to be so beautiful that one museum in Kentucky even borrowed it for an exhibition for several months. We are certain that Rita would be very happy for her precious creation. Hey buddy, are you tired of watching videos about cute animals and heartwarming stories? You need something more serious in your life. So
Oh, that was crazy, man. Like, seeing these videos, it restores your faith in humanity, man. It lets you know that all isn't lost. There's still some great people out in the world, you know, and you have to hear and see more stories like this, man, to keep you going. Because you know as well as I do, you turn on the news, man, and it's a nightmare, bro. And you start to get sucked into that, and you're just, it'll weigh you down, man. It'll stress you out. It'll cause you to lose years off your life. And it's not healthy, man. So to see videos like this is the type of stuff. But I know people are more concerned with, you know, the drama and the excitement and different things like that. And I try to provide a balance, man. I give you that, but sometimes, man, I want to give you the positive to keep you going as well. So it's just who I am, man. It's just me. It's your boy L. Y'all get at me in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Leave a like, share the video, subscribe, and stick around and stay tuned to the next reaction of my piece. Y'all stay solid. Hey.